Wonder Woman, an iconic part of comic and superhero history, debuting in 1941, conceived of in 1940. She has since maintained her status as a prominent superhero to this day. She has both maintained and evolved from her origins as a 1940s attempt at a feminist superhero who could simultaneously tap into both male and female markets. Wonder Woman has endured through to the modern age with her importance being undisputed, and yet she has somehow managed to maintain a position of both staying within the mainstream consciousness, yet often remaining outside it in terms of representation. Though in all fairness, she has never been fully forgotten in the realm of horizontal tie-ins, and has had some memorable moments leading up to her 2017 film, which many felt was too long in coming. Nevertheless, it is here, and Wonder Woman is on the scene in a big way at the time of this recording, and fans hope she is here to stay, maintaining a continuous presence like Batman or Superman. But let's be honest, mostly Batman, whose popularity sometimes brings him dangerously close to the realm of oversaturation, and some would argue he's already there. However, despite Wonder Woman's comparative lack of film representation, which also has a long, confusing, and contested history, for us, we're taking a look at this particular moment in fandom history that had people arguing about whether or not Wonder Woman should wear pants. Now, when it comes to superhero costumes, there are always many versions. Although for some, the tweaks might be minor, not because of the makeup of the costume, but because of how long it has existed or the attachment behind it as a result. Or perhaps the design is already very streamlined and changes simply aren't really necessary or are hard to come by, and can sometimes come across as superfluous. However, when it comes to costumes, everyone has their own aesthetics, and for everyone who thinks a costume is perfect, there are others who think it can use an update. This isn't unique to Wonder Woman's character. Anniversaries and reboots are often times when creators take the opportunity to attempt to update a character, usually using the term modernize, trying to make them match up with society's current sensibilities. Such an attempt occurred in the early 2010s with Wonder Woman, where it was decided that her costume should have pants. Now, Wonder Woman's costume had already changed numerous times over the years. However, except for a brief stint in the 60s, her legs had always been on display rather prominently, be it in shorts, a skirt, or bikini bottoms. However, in 2010, when images of Wonder Woman appeared rocking a leather coat and matching leather pants, some people were outraged. Now, it must be noted that many were either ambivalent about this change or liked it, either finding it aesthetically pleasing and an interesting change, or simply more practical, as any form of combat with so much of one's torso exposed is not a great idea, even if one is an Amazon. Although, obviously, when it comes to comics, there must be some suspension of disbelief. So why were people offended? Well, some felt the pants cheapened the iconography of Wonder Woman, stating that her original costume was a key part of the character and that an update was unnecessary, and that in fact it made her less recognizable and appear less imposing due to the slimming effect that many artists added when drawing her legs within pants. Others felt that the addition of pants was actually a step backwards for feminism, even as others argued the pants were a step forward. In the pro-pants camp, some stated that her exposed legs had been a result of the character's history of sexual objectification, of subjugation to the male gaze, and that by giving her pants and covering her up, it was a step forward, and that she should be just as covered as her male counterparts, who appeared more combat ready. There was also the idea put forth by some that pants would help Wonder Woman be taken more seriously. By the time of the New 52 DC relaunch following Flashpoint, there were rumors of a pants-only memo declaring all female heroes should have their legs covered to reduce the level of sexualization surrounding their characters. Although, as anyone can tell you, simply putting a character in pants is no way to guarantee that they won't be sexualized, be it in the artwork or the writing. And this goes for both male and female characters. Now, on the anti-pants side, there were some who said that covering her up, based on what was most likely a largely male executive staff's decision, was still inappropriate and another version of the male gaze, and that it was creating a taboo around the level of sexuality she had displayed, which some felt was part of her feminist message, that one could be smart, combat proficient, and sexy, regardless of what one is wearing. While for others, they simply felt the costume was too iconic to change, and that pants, while practical, were hardly a true symbol of modernization, especially not in the 2010s, and that a true update should be reflected in the writing, stating that how strong a female character like Wonder Woman is comes not from what she wears, but from how she is written and how her character is depicted. That Wonder Woman can be a strong character, pants or no pants. Be that as it may, the pants backlash was so strong that the pants ultimately vanished after a while, and certain covers were actually redrawn to exclude them, a decision which ultimately caused some confusion as it left people uncertain as to which were the real covers, until DC confirmed. This pants backlash also extended to the Wonder Woman pilot for the second live-action TV show that never was, although really pants were the least of the problems with that pilot. However, in 2015, the pants were back, this time with sleeves, and by this point, there was less interest or backlash. However, as of Rebirth, she is back to a more traditional costume, once more pantless, and appears more armor-based. At least at the time of this recording, that seems to be the costume they're going with. The inclusion of armor seems to make it slightly more practical for those who require practicality out of their superhero costumes. Although in all honesty, if superhero costumes were practical, none of them should have capes or wear excessively bright colors. All of this flip-flopping as to pants or no pants also put DC under some scrutiny, as some felt they should make a decision and stick with it, and not change what they were going with, especially after the reboot had already launched. Basically saying, have enough confidence in your decision to stick by it no matter what fans say. Alas, because of Wonder Woman's status as a prominent female hero, indeed the first prominent female superhero, she often gets bogged down in discussions like this, where other changes to other characters may pass unnoticed, or only be briefly discussed, of course with some exceptions. The Amazonian princess often finds herself being used as a representation of the entire feminist movement in comics, which can be tiresome to say the least, and leads to discussions like the above, that for the casual fan simply appear baffling, and in the worst case scenario, off-putting. Not that these discussions can't be significant or important, however sometimes fans can get hung up and assign undue importance to what are ultimately very small changes. For the most part, people don't care whether Wonder Woman does or does not wear pants, except for the rationale of iconography and preserving history. However, for some it is indeed representative of a large feminist dialogue, which will be forever shifting because contrary to popular belief, there are numerous strands of feminism, and it is continually evolving, and many find a strain that works for them, often tied to the time period they came to it, and stick with it, creating dissonance not only between them and the public, but between feminists themselves. Feminism is not one large happy monolith, as the pants discussion clearly demonstrates, and Wonder Woman has long been at the center of such debates given the nature and reasoning behind her creation, which some find forward-thinking and promising for its time, and others find regressive and sexist. Your mileage may vary. So Wonder Woman has actually had many more moments like this throughout her history, so let me know if you want to hear about more of them. We could go on for a while. Some creators simply don't know what to do with her. Which Wonder Woman costume is your favorite? Skirt, shorts, bikini bottoms, pants, 1960s leisure suit? Let me know down below. I personally like most of her costumes. They tend to have really good color balance, which is what I want in a superhero costume. Share your preferences down below. This has been Shipper's Guide to the Galaxy. Thanks so much for watching. Follow me on Twitter at Shipper's Guide to stay up to date. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. Special thanks to all my patrons' names on the side, and as always, stay tuned, for there are as many ships out there as there are stars in the sky.